Jersey is the largest island within the archipelago of the Channel Islands, located off the northwest coast of France. It's like the UK, but spiced up with a small bit of French heritage. It's known for its tax haven status, its potatoes, its lack of Tesco's, and for being the only place within the control of the British to have been occupied by a certain group of German people with an Austrian leader. I'm on the island, and I want to explore more of this gem by bus. But how do I do so? Once you head off your 95p EasyJet, it's super easy to get out and about exploring the island. To be fair, I went bougie and I got a cheeky BA flight across. God bless the Amex. You're most likely coming from mainland UK, so you won't need to do any passport controls. So straight out through baggage control and you get led into the original airport terminal, which has since been partly superseded by the new airport terminal, which is more modern. The bus stop for buses is literally 22 plus or minus some steps outside the arrivals terminal, and all services that go to the airport stop here. So if you get lost, that's not my problem. Most buses here head into St Helier, the biggest settlement on the island. You've got the 9, 12, 15 and 22. There's also the 10, but the 10 doesn't go into St Helier, but it does link a number of settlements on the outskirts of town. The main airport bus is the 15, which is a double-decker service, which runs up to every 15 minutes between 5 AM and midnight. The other buses are fine to use, but they run less frequently and use smaller buses, so you might end up taking a spot from Auntie Magdalene heading to the shops for the afternoon. Live times and timetables are available at the stop, and there's info on fares too. When you hop on, you can literally type your card or contactless onto the reader, it goes beep, and that's your ticket. A contactless ticket costs £2.55, and a cash ticket costs £3. There are day and longer period passes you can buy on the app or in person. I'm buying in person because I want a card, but you can only do the in-person ones in town, but I'll show you that later. Right, I'm gonna use a mix of English and French accents because I don't know what them lots say. Leaving the airport, we head out via Le Convay, Saint-Brelade and Saint-Aubin. Saint-Aubin? Saint-Brelade? Before heading along the water into St Helier. The journey time is around 35 minutes from the airport into town. We arrive here into the main bus station, Liberation Station, giving a nod to the liberation of Jersey from the Austrian-led German folk. Nearly every bus heads into the bus station, so if you head to Jersey, you'll be seeing a lot of this place. There's an information stand where you can get timetables, buy an Avanci travel card where you can get 1, 2 or 3 day bus passes. Mine is nice, look at it. The bus network is very easy to use here, and you can see a lot of the island on board LibertyBus. But if you want, there are also different tour companies who do part or full island tours in both English and French. Across 2 days, I was able to speed across the island on their varied fleet of buses, which are perfect for the small roads over here. I was able to head down to Gory on the 1, home of Montorgueil, which is very quaint. I got a cheeky coffee and all, I took in the views of the harbour whilst deeping life about my falling credit score. I also headed along to Corbière Lighthouse on the 22, which is a super nice double-decker bus route, which heads out west along the water down to L'Étac. The good thing about buses on the island is that they basically operate as a loop in and out of Liberation Station. So like most people I travelled on board with, you can just stay on the bus, soak up the views, and head back into Liberation Station. I was able to get off the 22, walk down to Corbière and down to the end, then gleefully stroll back to the bus stop for my next bus heading back into St Helier. A very underrated place on the island is Devil's Hole, which is located to the north of the island and is reachable on the 7. A little walk down from the bus stop and you've got absolutely sexy views that reach out to Guernsey on a good day. Some of the buses are absolutely amazing, and the drivers here are super talented, weaving through some of the tightest curves I'd ever seen, steaming up steep hills like crazy, and skewering past some very nice prime real estate. I also took the bus down to visit the Jersey War tunnels, which are very interesting, detailing the history of Jersey's occupation in World War II. Once again, got on the bus on a loop and came back into town. Saint Brelade saw me as well. The Pizza Express specifically. Look, I wanted to go to some other independent restaurants along the bay, but they were closed for the summer, so pizza had to suffice. It was decent. I still got to do a cheeky beverage. I'll say that the Jersey bus network is quirky. There are hundreds of stops and you actively have to search for them. Some have bus stops and shelters, but a lot are literally just paint on the street. It just says bus. You've just got to wait and pray and see if a bus turns up. You have to watch out for the frequencies on some routes though. You could either be waiting 15 minutes or 2 hours if you're unlucky. Nevertheless, the paper timetables and the LibertyBus app are very useful. On the app, you can live track the bus and also it tells you if the bus is full. I'd seen a couple of buses which were heaving with folk, most prominently during rush hour, and it was literally saying bus full. Nevertheless, a weekend on Jersey is easily enough for you to explore the island, see the sights and stuff, and still have enough to come back another time and see it again. It's an amazing little place to visit, and maybe next time I'll come and do a cheeky visit to Guernsey too.